Good morning, students. Now today we'll be seeing the fifth point, the same chapter of lesson number 12, that is social evils according to Gandhi. We saw 4 points. Now we'll come to the fifth one, which is commerce without morality. Students, what do you mean by the word commerce? It means industrialization, and commerce means trade, business, trade. Now every country needs trade and commerce for its development. But you should carry on commerce with morality, not without morality. If you do it without moral values, then it is a social evil. Let's see it how. Industrialization and commerce, very important features of an economy. For every growing economy, for every developed country, and for underdeveloped countries. For all sorts of countries, you need industrialization and commerce. Trade and commerce is very important. They are the important features. Only the rich, if they benefit by commerce or commercialization, then such a trade was not approved by Gandhiji. Commerce, which only benefited the rich, was not appreciated by Gandhiji. If the rich become richer and the poor become poorer, then what is the use of your trade and commerce? So Gandhiji said that your trade and commerce, commercialization, should be benefiting everybody equally. For example, if billionaires amass wealth in large quantity, they gather up wealth in large quantity, and the poor have to struggle to have even a day's meal. Say I put a cross over here. They have to struggle to get a day's meal for their children. Then the poor think of committing suicide. Such things should not occur in your country. For example, poor farmers, their lands are wrested. See your textbook. In the textbook, you have a word named wrested. That is, taking something from your hands forcefully. That is, the poor farmers, they can't do anything when their lands are forcefully confiscated by the government or by private industries for industrialization or for building roads, for dams, for different projects. Then these farmers have no other source of income. They have to go hungry. So such things should not occur in any of the lands. If you do commerce, commercialization is done in this way, then it is known as commerce without morality, without moral values. Then Gandhiji insisted on another point regarding commercialization, that is big companies, when they come into existence, the small, medium-sized shop owners are forced to close down their shops. Why? Because customers prefer big companies, products of large industries or big companies. So Gandhiji said that all should get equal chance to survive in the society. Everyone or everybody should be given equality of doing their own work. Then another point he stressed was monopoly of multinationals. Multinational companies, when they come into existence, they should not have monopoly of products. Why? Because when they have such monopoly, what happens here? Industrial products as well as agricultural products, both. We are talking about both the products. In that, what happens? The poor farmers and vendors, retailers and all wholesalers, they are forced to be eliminated from the society. That is, in the trade cycle, they are totally facing the threat of elimination. That is, completely they are wiped out from the trade cycle. Why? Because consumers prefer the substances or the products, agriculture and industrial products from large multinationals. So, in this trade cycle, it is very essential for everybody to survive. Small shop owners, retailers, wholesalers, everybody is very essential. Consumer is the king of the market. So, what happens? The consumers prefer big companies and multinationals. Then what will happen to the small vendors and farmers and shop owners? It's very difficult for them to survive. So, Gandhiji did not like this type of commerce. According to him, Gandhian commerce was, students pay attention over here. This point is very important in this topic. According to Gandhian commerce, production by mass is important, not mass production. That is, mass production means production of agricultural and industrial products in large quantity. Large scale production was not preferred by Gandhiji, but production by masses, that is, production by the people of India, by the country, by the rural as well as urban population. So there is a small difference in this word here, but the meaning is largely different. If you see the words, you can't understand the difference, but the meaning is totally different. Production by masses was preferred by Gandhiji. That is, production by the people of our country, not importing products. but production by the people of our country. This topic, this concept we have now by the Indian government, that is Make in India. So production by masses is important, not mass production by monopoly of large companies. Then Gandhiji said that the common man should be kept at the center of the economy. For commerce, the central point should be the common man. And law of non-violence should be applied in the economy. For trade and commercialization, law of non-violence, not violence, should be applied. And only then you can have true and good commerce. Equality should be there amongst all the people in the society. Even the weakest person in society should be able to survive in a decent manner. Only then a decent life is possible for every human being in the society. Now we'll see the next point, that is the sixth one, science without humanity. See students, science is very essential for our progress in life. The world has progressed till this level now only because of scientific research. But Gandhiji stressed that science should be with humanity, not without humanity. Human dignity should not be lost. Let's see it how. See students, all realms of human life, all spheres of human life has been progressing only because of scientific research. You all will agree to this point. And human life has changed a lot because of scientific research. The primitive man, when we see the different stages of primitive man's life, we can see how today we are living our lives. So it's a very different world now. All this is happening because of scientific research. The face of human life has totally changed because of science. But in this race for scientific research, we are losing human dignity. There's a question asked in your textbook. Is human dignity being considered in the mad race for science? If you think carefully, in this mad race of competition for science, people are materially prospering. That is, they are prosperous materially, but spiritually they are very poor. See, I put a cross over here to show that materially, it's a tick over here to show that materially we are prosperous, but spiritually we are in a poor condition. Spiritual poverty has taken place in our life. Why? Because religiously we are not very aware of our values. We have lost moral values. So, senseless and soulless use of science will make us devoid of human concern. That is, if we use science senselessly and soullessly without any concern for human beings, human dignity is lost. Devoid means we are not using it. We are totally ignoring, avoiding it. Then human concern will be totally lost. So if we use in that way, if we use science in this way, senselessly and soullessly, then according to Gandhiji, it is a social evil. Now what does Einstein say about science? He says that science without religion is lame, religion without science is blind. That is, science should use religion, otherwise it is lame, it is nothing. And vice versa, religion should also have science in that, otherwise it is totally blind. So both are two philosophies, science and religion, which should be used equally, otherwise you will have science which is to be used without human dignity. So students, we should see to it that science should be used with humanity, not without humanity, otherwise it will turn into a social evil. So the last topic of this chapter, that is worship without sacrifice. That is, according to Gandhiji, we should worship God, should pray to God, but without sacrifice in your lives. If you worship, it is of no use, it is fruitless. Let's see it how. True religion and true morality, true moral values and true religion, both are two sides of the same coin according to Gandhiji. What did Gandhiji say? That if you worship God in conflict with morality, that is, if you have no moral values in life, then your worship is fruitless, it is of no use. And worship of God demands sacrifice from your lives. Only if you worship with your lips, it is of no use. You should learn self-surrender of your lives to God. Otherwise, your sacrifice is of no use. That is, your worship is of no use. But nowadays what happens? We pray only for our own wishes. We pray for the betterment of our own lives. We don't pray for sacrifice of anything in our lives. We only pray for our own betterment. That is, we see to it that we fulfill our own will in our lives. And we pray in such a manner that we ask God to fulfill our will, not His will. So Gandhiji did not like all those types of prayers. He told that worship should be purely selfless, not selfish. If you have sacrifice in your lives, then only your worship will be selfless. Otherwise, it is known as a selfish form of worship. If you pray only for yourselves. And the desired fruits of your lives will not be received, and God will not accept such type of prayers. God accepts only those types of prayers which are selfless, not selfish. And Gandhiji considered the people who sympathized with the weaker sections of society, with the poor and needy persons, as true devotees, not the ones who worshipped only with their lips. But Gandhiji considered true devotees as the people who sympathized, who had kindness and compassion for the poor people of the world. So students, we conclude this chapter over here. We saw 7 social evils in the society according to Gandhiji. There are many social evils in the society, but according to Gandhiji, the 7 main ones prevalent we saw in this chapter. So let's see it in short. I'll just repeat the 7 points. First one is politics without principle. Second, wealth without work. Third is pleasure without conscience. Fourth, knowledge without character. Commerce without morality. Science without humanity. And the last one is worship without sacrifice. So students, I conclude this chapter here. Read the textbook thoroughly and write out the answers from the PDF file. Thank you.